I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show, the voice of rural America. Now at 10 o'clock, I'm going to have Michael Grant in here. Michael Grant and I are going to be talking about the North Georgia Living Showcase that's coming up June 10th. North Georgia is surrounded by beautiful mountains, clean rivers, fresh air, and clear skies. So we're going to be talking about the North Georgia Living Showcase. It's going to be a lot of it. It's sponsored by Georgia High Country Builders Association. We're going to talk about that. I don't think you're going to want to miss this at 9 o'clock. So we're going to have about a 10-minute segment talking about that at 9. Also, we're going to be in Blue Ridge on Friday. We're always in Blue Ridge on Friday. And yes, it has been a rainy May here in Georgia. I don't know where you're at, but in Georgia, the month of May has... we have had our share of rain, but I don't want to complain because, you know, the gardens are out and they're garden rain. I call it garden rain. You know what I mean? We need the good garden rain. You will not be complaining about the rain unless, you know, unless you're missing 2 trees out of the front yard like me, and unless, you know, it tore half your roof off. You know, there's a couple things that may remind you of this past May in 2017 in North Georgia, but you will soon forget when your neighbor's saying, hey, neighbor, you need any tomatoes? You'll forget. That's the way we do it around here. That's the way we do it. I don't know where you're at in the big city, but around here, that's the way we do it. So that's coming up May. We'll be in June tomorrow. I'm getting sidetracked. Now, every morning, I like to, let me run through this, okay? The enemy of the state, MSNBC. I like to just go on there at 6 a.m. I do not like the show, okay? Folks, please, you know, please let Joe Scarborough know he's A, not a conservative, B, he's not a Republican, C, could somebody like send him from the Republican Party? Do we have a does the Republican Party have an official revoking your Republican status? Like a letter that you get, we're here to, like you go to get, you know how you get the letter from your senator and it's got that nice seal at the top and it looks really official? And can we get a letter to Joe from the Republican Party that says, dear former member of the Republican Party, that we're officially letting you know today that we'd prefer you not use our name at any time. It is trademarked. Our name is trademarked. And when you make comments like, you know, Joe Scarborough comes out this morning and says, you know, Mr. President, we wish you were stable enough. President sends out tweets. I'm good with the tweets. I do get conflicting conversation with friends, okay? They'll say, well, you know, Trump, maybe he could back off the tweets. Well, you know, I disagree. I tweet all night, damn it. Tweet. Just keep putting them out there. I love everything about them, okay? Stay in communication. If you're going to sit back and wait for CNN, look, I have been waiting for a president to look at a Mitch McConnell. Well, it's hard to do, but anyhow, you got some, every once in a while you got to look at him, all right? But look at a Mitch McConnell and say, 51 votes, Mitch. 51 votes. You're not getting 60. And then Mitch says, it ain't going to happen. I don't care who the president is. Let me tell you something. Mitch, the Democrat down in Kentucky, was just this close to winning. You were so fortunate. All right? Your whole entire career. Hell, why the hell do I get sidetracked like this? Your whole entire career, Mitch McConnell, hinges on somebody thinking and coming up with asking your opponent the last time you ran. I think she's the former Secretary of State or something in the state of Kentucky. I forget her name. But there's that much that you're not there. If somebody doesn't come up and say to your opponent, who did you vote for in the last presidential election? And she had to say to the voters in Kentucky that she voted for Barack Obama. That ended her campaign. That one question. Donald Trump, here's what you should tweet out. Mitch McConnell, your whole career was only one question away from ending. That's how much the people of Kentucky love you and the nation. Look, you got spineless jellyfish up there. I mean, they know. If you think these senators don't walk around and know that the American people, the America I live in, okay? The America, not LA, all right? I don't understand the language there, right? So I couldn't live there anyway. So not LA, not downtown Atlanta, not Washington, D.C., New York City, Chicago. Oh, by the way, I'm happy to report the murder rate, holiday murder rate is down in Chicago. Just had to throw that in there. Memorial Day. Last year on Memorial Day weekend, 7 shot dead. They're down to 5. Statistically, they're out crowing about it. They are. They're actually out saying, statistically, you know, things are going, the murder. What the hell? Are we, I mean, have we divorced ourselves from reality? Isn't that what Kimberly Strassel said yesterday? We'll play that in a minute. So I'm all over the map here, right? I'm already hearing people yell, get to the point. But, you know, hey, I say Chicago, and it just made me think. The murder rate's down. I mean, I feel much safer flying into O'Hara now, right? Knowing that only 5 were killed Memorial Day weekend instead of a high of 7 last year. Holy mackerel. Anyhow, what the hell am I talking about? So let me get back to this, all right? In the real America, all right, that I come from, we don't want Mitch McConnell as majority leader. We do not. Absolutely not. If we could go to a ballot box tomorrow and vote Mitch McConnell out, he'd be gone. So anyhow, 51. I like to open up every morning by letting people see what the enemy of the state is doing. So anything says MSNBC, just start in a row. All right, this is how they open the show. Now, wait a minute. What? Don't do it yet, Sam. Hold on. Hold that trigger there, all right? Hold on there, Baba Louie. Listen. Okay. You don't understand that. You'll understand it one day. That's old school, all right? Anyhow, now, we just show this, okay? Just show this. Pull this picture up. I'll give it to you in a minute. It's the ICBM. It's a Pentagon. Starts with Pentagon. Okay. Okay.
Pentagon test.
Yes. There you go. Right there. Right there. You see that? You see that, folks? Now, this was according to the Pentagon, the much anticipated Intercept. This is an Intercept missile. Okay, of an intercontinental ballistic missile, ICBM, okay, missile was successful, okay? So this Intercept knocked this ICBM out in this test. We are ready, okay? A little whack job over in North Korea, we're ready, okay? All right, we'll do that in a minute.
Can you not encourage him, please?
Okay. All right, let's do this. Let's go ahead and stay with this. Give me the USS Carl Vinson. What the heck? That's Carter Page. Holy smokes. All right, this is the USS Carl Vinson, right?
Yes.
Okay. Remember when Trump turned that baby right around? Now, it takes a week to 10 days to turn one of these things around, okay? But you remember he turned that thing right around? He said, North Korea, I think we're going to come up into the Korean Peninsula there. All right, so let's go with the USS Ronald Reagan. You got that one? U.S. deployed 3rd aircraft carrier toward North Korea. This is the USS. 1 month ago, when we first discussed at the addition to the Carl Vinson aircraft group, all right, to the Korean Peninsula, now the U.S. Navy is moving the USS Ronald Reagan aircraft carrier to the Korean Peninsula. We're ready. We're ready, okay? We got you surrounded. We got our aircraft carriers getting in place. We're set. We have our intercept missile ready to intercept anything you shoot in the air. We're ready. That test is done. This is our military might, you little whack job. That's our military might that actually worked. This did not explode on the launch pad, all right? So this was successful. We're ready. We are ready to deal. Donald Trump is ready to deal with North Korea. He told China he's going to deal with North Korea. He told South Korea. Pence went on the trip over there. Okay. Mattis has them awake all night long. Mattis is over there, made his trips. Rex Tillerson, we're ready. Okay. But this is what MSNBC opens up. Not real news. Let's go with anything MSNBC. Okay. This is real news happening. Here's what the enemy of the state opened up with at 6 a.m. You might have to help me here, Sam. All right. No, I can get this one. I can get this one. President sends, is that vague midnight tweet? Yes. That was what opened the show. President sends vague midnight tweet. Now, you know, I'm over here tweeting, bada bing, bada boom, okay? I'm not going to call Sam out, but Sam can tell you that I will tweet things that have to happen throughout the day, and it probably takes her 2 or 3 minutes to figure out what I tweeted because I misspelled 3 things, and, you know, because I'm tweeting and whatever, right? So she probably gets tweets all the time. I don't really know what you just said. I'm going to just hope you resend it in a minute, okay? So Donald Trump sent out a tweet this morning and last night, and it had Kafavi, all right? Kafavi is, that's everybody's trying to figure it out. We think it meant coverage, all right? This is what opened up this morning, all right? This is what opened up. Give me another MSNBC. Inside the walls of the Trump White House. This, I watch at 6 o'clock. In fact, pray for me, all right? Because my God, anybody that has to get up and watch this at 6 o'clock so I can keep up with the enemy of the state, somebody has to do it. We have to, folks. I'm telling you, if you are relaxing right now, all right, go ahead. Give me another one. Employees choosing to eat at work as restaurants see decline in their lunch sales. Huh. Now, I can see that being a top story in the first hour because in the first hour, I don't remember MSNBC even discussing North Korea, even discussing Carter Page. I don't really remember that. Maybe they did, and I got busy and I didn't see it. But they were more interested in restaurants declining lunch sales this morning. Okay, give me another. Anything that said MSNBC. The risk. The risk. No,
the president communicates.
Yeah, the risk in how the president communicates. They're talking about his tweet where he got a word that, you know, okay, so he tweeted kerfuffle or whatever it is, all right? Big deal, right? MSNBC is breaking down the risk in how the president communicates. Give me another MSNBC. All right. Trump tells leaders to call me on his cell phone. Heads are spinning off because Trump went over through the world and he says to the French president and the Canadian, hey, here, I give you my cell phone number. Text me. I give you a cell phone number. Just call me on my cell phone. I'm available. I'm up 3 a.m. Just call me. I'm always looking for somebody to talk. Huh? Yeah, I see it, John. I see it. You think I don't know that? You don't call me on my cell phone? You think I don't know that song? Oh, I can't. They try so hard here to catch me. You never call me on my cell phone. Okay, so Trump tells leaders, call him on the cell. I mean, they are shocked. They are absolutely shocked. This is the top news this morning. Top news on MSNBC. Is anything else saying MSNBC? No. Oh, thank God. Okay. There you go, folks. Now, let's start through, and we're going to break some more stuff down, okay? Joe Scarborough. Did I finish this thought? Because God knows I haven't finished very many of them this morning, okay? Joe Scarborough, please, Republican Party, whoever's in charge. I don't know who the hell's in charge. I mean, I used to know Priebus. I used to know the guy at the top. Priebus. Who's the new guy? Does anybody know the new guy at the Republican Party? Could you please send Scarborough a letter? Please, Post it today. And please ask him to stop using, stop using Democrat. Start using. That's what I meant to say, right? Stop using Republican, start using Democrat. Joe Scarborough looked at the camera and said, this is the opening. And because he tweeted something that was not correct, he said, Mr. President, we wish you were stable enough. Now, their job every morning is to make Trump unstable, unfit to serve, okay? Enemy of the state, okay? Now, let's go to the Twitter deck.
Okay.
Let's go to Trump's tweets. Trump was up tweeting. I love it. For you out there, let me just throw this out. For you out there that tell me, I wish he would kindly maybe stop doing that. Hell no. Donald, stay up till 3. Tweet me. Because if you're up at 3 and you tweet, I'll check them. Okay? Because he's staying in contact with the American people. There's no other way. All right? What's this one say? Who can figure out the true meaning of kafafi? Enjoy it. See, this is the response, because the media went nuts because he wrote a tweet. I forget what the tweet said, about press coverage or some coverage. I think the word was supposed to be coverage. Well, he took that tweet down but then he put out this morning, who can figure out the meaning of kafafi, all right? Enjoy it. He is playing with the media. He has them so messed up. This guy is playing with the media. He has them so messed up. And that's why he says, enjoy. Take this all day, Washington Post. Take this all day, New York Times. And let's see what you come up with. What's the other tweet he had out this morning? Russian officials must be laughing at the U.S. on how a lame excuse for why the Dems lost the election has taken over fake news, right? Russian officials must be laughing at the U.S. on how a lame excuse for why the Dems fake news. So that's the second one. Okay, give me another one there, Sam. We have a massive trade deficit with Germany, plus they pay far less than they should on NATO and military. Very bad for the U.S. This will change. Look, folks, he's the American first president, okay? American first, that was his campaign promise. He did not go to Europe and bow down to the Europeans. He did not go over there and validate the socialist world they live in and say, man, we would like to do everything to join you in every way possible. He did not walk around and say, how can I fit in, like the president in the last 8 years. He did not do that. He went over there for you. I think his foreign trip is the first. Let me tell you what I think his foreign trip is. It's the first time in my lifetime, Now, I don't want to give my age away. I'm pushing about, 39, So I don't want to give my age away. But, yeah, I kind of remember Nixon going to China. I kind of remember that, We had to watch it in the house. I kind of remember that. I remember, I always defer back. My favorite, Donald, I just have to tell you, I like what you're doing. But my favorite is when Ronald Reagan got up at Reykjavik and left Gorbachev sitting. That will always be my favorite. He says, I'm going home. Hey, figure it out. I'm going home. He got up and left. And everybody cringed. Oh, my God, Ronald Reagan has destroyed any chance of any relationship with the Russians. Would you ever think that, nuclear proliferation, did I get that right? Proliferation? They love that word. Remember when proliferation was the word of the day all the time? And what can we do to negotiate with the Russians? Seemed like it was just yesterday we wanted to work with them. And now Vladimir Putin, we know he's a bad guy. I understand that. But my favorite will always be when Ronald Reagan got up and left Gorbachev sitting in Reykjavik and went home and everybody's nerves got shot. So, but what I'm saying is in my lifetime, I think this is the first trip memorable that a president of the United States went and represented the American people. That's my thought in general. The whole foreign trip, he represented the American people at all time. Donald Trump never forgot on the trip, never forgot who he worked for, never forgot who he's a servant to. He understands it. It doesn't matter how arrogant and how much he's a businessman and people say he's so arrogant he could care less. No, Donald Trump understands that the President of the United States is a servant of the people. He understands that. And at no time in this trip did I recognize that he forgot who he worked for and he was America first. So we're all up in arms over Europe. So that's what he said there. NATO's supposed to pay their 2% of their military budget. And that's just the bottom line. They're supposed to pay it to NATO. So Germany, everybody's worried that Angela over there in Germany is going to be upset. Okay. Yeah, give me another one because we got to go to break. Our guest is here. So now it is reported that the Democrats who have escalated, what is it? I can't see it from here. Eviscerated or?
Excavated Carter.
What?
Excavated.
Is it? Okay, I can't. Carter Page about Russia don't want him to testify, right? They don't want him to testify. Carter Page, we talked about that this morning. They've got to keep that narrative. The 6th District. Folks, they are trying to manipulate an election in the 6th District of Georgia. That's what the media is trying to do in the Democrats because they don't want Karen Handel to get elected. They want John Ossoff. Go ahead to the next one. Is this the last one?
Yes, this is the last one. Right?
Okay. Case against him and now wants to clear his name by showing the false or misleading testimony by James Comey, John Brennan, a witch hunt. A witch hunt is when you only show one side, okay? It's only one side. They will not give, they're not going to give Michael Flynn, they're not going to give him any kind of deal because they know the minute they make a deal with him, he'll talk. And when he talks, it might not be as favorable as they want it to be because he may tell all, and they don't want Carter Page to testify. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. I have a guest right on the other side of this break, but before I go, let me switch up here for a minute. Folks, Frank is back. Frank is back. Do you understand what I'm saying out there? You know. The ones out there know Frank is back. Frank Underwood, House of Cards, season 5. I just had to throw it out there. I get up at 3:30 in the morning, and I try not to stay up past whatever time, so I got at least 4 or 5 hours sleep, and I just had to watch House of Cards last night. I had to, at least one. I had to watch one. Frank Underwood and Claire are back. If you do not watch House of Cards, now the thing I want to say is I've watched the first 4 seasons of House of Cards, and I really feel it parallels what's going on in our swamp in D.C. Okay, but last night there seems to be something. I was wondering how they would start the show. Because they ended the show last season with Frank Underwood running for office. Obviously, I love Frank Underwood, but he's a Democrat. Frank's a Democrat president. But I love Frank, right? So they left the season, right, with Frank running the office and running for office again, president. But Trump was not elected. When season 4 ended, Trump wasn't elected. And I was wondering how they would write this 5th season in. So they come back in the 5th season, and they're still running for office because last season nobody won yet. The election hadn't happened. And last night, Frank wanted a travel ban. Yeah, there was a travel ban written into the show that had to deal with terrorism, and the Secretary of State was questioning it and said it would get challenged. Interesting for all of you House of Cards friends. Another one I'm watching, and I want to talk about this maybe later in the show, called The Keepers. And I don't know if you've been watching that on Netflix. It's got a 5-star. I've seen people talking about it on the internet. The Keepers, a very interesting one. I'm going to take a break, but when I come back, Okay, we're going to be talking about, you know, we call North Georgia the great outdoor playground. You hear us say that all the time, the great outdoor playground. One of our largest audiences is in Florida, are moving here all the time. You come up and you get cabins, you rent cabins. We appreciate it. You come up to the North Georgia mountains, you rent cabins, okay? You stay for 3 or 4 days. You go kayaking, you go hiking, and you say, wow, I'd really like to stay here. And then you want to look for a realtor, you want to look for property, a builder, and we appreciate all that here in the North Georgia mountains. Well, we have something coming up that you may be interested in. It's called the North Georgia Living Showcase. That's going to be on June 10th. And we have a guest here that's going to tell you more about the North Georgia Living Showcase. And we want you to get this around. We're going to put it on our YouTube channel and we want you to get this around to all your friends because you don't want to miss this. I'm your host, BKP, and as soon as we get back, we're going to do a segment called North Georgia Living Showcase on June 10th. Take us a break, Sam.